Hello, welcome back, everyone, to part 3 of Fightful TEW 2016 universe, the Distraction TEW universe. We don't have a name for it. We should probably nail down the name if we're gonna do this every week.
We should. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. But very on brand as usual. We have not done that yet. This has been very stressful, Jeremy. This has been very, very stressful. The phone has not stopped ringing. Um, each week, as we let these things release them, more controversy, right? DMs have been disgusting all week, but we're back again, and we're here to really put the finishing touches. These are the perfect little, just rounding things off with some people from the past, people from around the world. This is a big round of the draft.
This is a game-changing round because we've done the draft of current WWE NXT stars and how we're building out our shows around those talents. But with the picks beyond, you can get anybody. You can you can get The Rock, Austin, Flair, Hogan. You can get all four of them. Not quite all four. You can get at least three of them. In some
Yeah.
capacity, you can get three of them, and that completely changes your roster and your booking and your makeup. So it does change a lot of things. If you haven't watched part one or part two, you're probably very confused by everything right now. So go back and watch those shows. What's wrong with you? The gimmick is we've started our own universe. We're bringing back the TEW series. We've reset WWE. We drafted a 40-person roster and three announcers. We're doing 5 picks beyond. You can get anybody from the past or current day if they are still active today. You have to take that version, not a version from the past. And we're gonna play this out in TEW with a pretty even playing field, I would say. There's no advantages either way. I don't have to book 3 hours, so that makes everything even, and less time consuming. And we're gonna
Yeah.
play this out over the course of hopefully years, Joseph. Hopefully years, but probably more likely a few months.
Yeah, I mean, let's get through the first few weeks, and then we'll kind of start looking ahead at the months, and then eventually the years. It's a long way ahead of us. I'm interested, Jeremy, to know because we discussed this a little bit off air, so I just want to get out of the way first, straight up. Are you coming with the big hitters here in these 5 picks?
I am not. Look, I told you I didn't have a game plan
No.
for the draft. I think that was very evident as we went through the draft, and I took my time on these picks. Thank God there was not a clock on me. I probably would have lost a couple of picks because I did take my time a little bit on them. I don't really have a game plan with the picks beyond. I'm looking at my roster and I'm trying to figure out who would fit with this roster. And that's mainly what I'm doing. It's not a all right, I'm just going to take the three biggest stars in history. I'm going to take people who will fit in with my roster and gel with everybody.
It's actually very interesting in that sense, right? Because I must admit, I like my roster quite a bit, and I think you like yours too. And if you go really heavy with the guys from the past, you're going to kind of just everything you've planned and plotted and kind of set up is relevant if you have Rock Austin and Ric Flair, right? Like
Yeah.
it means nothing. So it's interesting that part of it. I agree. It's tough.
All right, Joe. Let me put the rosters up on the screen. I'm going to put the big board up on the screen. Actually, I think what I can do is just make this a little bit bigger for everybody. And that way you see less of us. I clearly thought this through as I was doing it. There we
Yeah,
go,
we are
everyone.
definitely seeing less of us. You're correct. Where that is
Yeah.
happening.
There you go. Now you
Yeah.
can see our rosters. You see the nice little distraction logo in the middle there, and you can kind of see us behind the screen, but we're not important for this stuff. All right, Joseph. There are the rosters for everyone to see. You took Becky Lynch, Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre, Rhea Ripley, Big E as your top 5 picks. I took Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, Edge, and Brock Lesnar as my top 5 picks. Completely took Kevin Owens from you as you were flustered. You gave away your game plan. You like you had Woj tweeted out before it happened, and it wasn't your turn, and so I just straight took it, and those are the breaks of battle here. But these are the rosters for both brands. I got the first pick in the current day draft, so Joseph will have the first pick in the Picks Beyond draft. Joe, who is your first pick for the Picks Beyond?
I must say this is actually genuinely difficult. And I'm not sure if I have some ideas for my top guys here. I don't ever want to taint it by putting in such a heavy hitter that I can't kind of pivot around that. So I'm going to go with a personal favourite that I have an angle in mind for straight off the bat. Rather than going with, the best talent on the board, I'm going to go way away from that. Personal favourite. Give me, I bet this is not on your big board, Jeremy, Yokozuna is coming off the board to SmackDown.
Oh my God.
Great pick or not?
Gosh. I'm fine with this pick. I think it's a great pick. I have no issue with Yokozuna. I'm just looking at your roster and I'm trying to figure out. I mean, I guess I see where he fit. You got a lot of beef on your roster, Joe. Like, I'm not mad at that.
I do.
Big E, Keith Lee, Samoa Joe, now Yokozuna. Those are four big. Bobby Lashley's there. Like, you got some beef there.
Yeah, we're on the Fox network, Jeremy. We want stars here, right? And Yoko, for all of his flaws, Yoko is a once-ever pro wrestler. Stands out quite a bit. And I have an angle. I have an angle in mind, which obviously we'll get into once we actually play the game in a couple of years. And Yoko is just a personal favourite. I think he may not be the biggest star I pick, but that's how I feel comfortable opening up this section of the game.
Okay. All right. For those that don't know, I don't think I explained this off top, but for the Picks Beyond, you have to take at least one male singles, one female singles, and one tag team. I guess you could take a women's tag team. I don't know what women's tag team you're gonna. The Divas of Doom, but they're both active, so that doesn't. Yeah, you can take a women's tag team if you can find one. The Jumping Bomb Angels is gonna be like the only women's tag team you would possibly take. And one female superstar. You have to take at least one with the other two picks that you have. It can be any of those three, however you want to do it to fill out your roster. The roster limit is 50 people. We're not counting announcers as part of the 50-person team there because that would be a little unfair and you'd go over the limit. So that's how it works, everybody. For my pick, I feel like I got to take this person. One, because I'm afraid you're going to take him. Two, because he does fit with my roster very well, actually. And three, because, I mean, why wouldn't I take this person? Bret Hart with the Pick Beyond.
Yeah, Bret is he's a favourite of both of ours, right?
Yes.
I was looking at my top guys, and I was like, Bret can do great stuff with these guys, but like, there's nothing that jumps out. And if it doesn't jump out, I'm not going to waste Bret on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, Bret's great. I'll let you play with Bret. You have a lot of awesome stuff for Bret to do, so I'm happy with this all around.
Bret matches with Bryan, Styles, Owens. If you missed part one, Brock Lesnar's just gonna be tossing dudes. So Bret getting tossed by Brock Lesnar, Gable, Nakamura. This is the wrestling brand, Joseph. I don't know what you're going for. You're on Fox. You're going sports entertainment brand. This is the wrestling brand here.
Our intention is to sell tickets. We assume this takes place in a post-pandemic world, so it's going to take a lot to sell these tickets. Okay, so. Look, we'll be drawing the house at Mania, and you guys can have your 20-minute matches on the undercard, but just know that Yoko's dropping the bonsai on last, okay? I'm looking here. I'm looking at the babyface side, and I like these guys. I like Drew. I like Big E. I like Keith Lee. I want an established guy. That doesn't mean I want a Rock or an Austin because that's impossible to book around, but I will take a young, very colourful Sting is my next selection.
Big fan of that. Big fan of Sting. Sting was probably maybe my first favorite wrestler, honestly.
She's very good. This means you're watching SmackDown.
My mom loved Sting, and probably for aesthetic reasons more than his wrestling ability. But she was a big Sting fan, and I got his autograph at World War III 95. That was when Hogan burned the Observer. So yeah, World War III 95. I got Sting's autograph.
Observe this.
Yeah. What a
That's all-time
gimmick.
WCW stuff, mate.
What a gimmick that was right there. All right. For my second pick, I am going with my female talent, Joseph, and I am going to take someone in the current era, and I'm going to keep the locker room copacetic like I have been
Oh,
one to do. Joseph, you might know where I'm going with this. The
okay.
role
It could
model,
go.
Britt
Yeah.
Baker.
Yeah, Brit's great. We love Brit. The female selection is interesting because it depends on what you think of like past legends, how they'd fit in today. So I'm with actually what you've done here. It's not what I've done. I want to make it clear, but I do. If I was gonna do it, I would go with Brit too. She's
My
tremendous.
other female selection was going to be. I mean, I guess I still could take her. I don't think you're gonna end up taking her. Was gonna be Victoria, because I think she's
Yeah,
a diverse performer and she is one of the better workers from the past eras.
no, that would be a good call too. But Brit is on brand and it suits the. She's not been in the news this week, right, Jeremy? Or last week or three
No,
weeks ago.
haven't written anything about Britt Baker this week.
Okay, this guy, anyone that follows me on Twitter knows, and I don't know if you're going to get this straight away, Jeremy. My absolute favourite heel of all time, and this isn't a case of will he fit on a roster. There's no one like him now. No one can do it the way he did it. Rick Rude is my final singles male star.
All right, I respect Rick Rude.
Wow.
You have switched to a
Yes,
bottle of Coke instead of just a glass. Are you pouring it into a glass?
I am.
Okay.
But the audience couldn't see that, so now
No,
they're
they
even
can't
more
see that,
confused.
but I can.
That's been what I've been doing the whole time. I've just been kind of
Oh, all
respecting the
right.
business and hiding it off camera.
All right, fair enough. Um, yeah, Rick Rude, great, and another diverse performer. And I know you're a big fan. So you have Rick and Bobby Roode. I cannot wait for the Rude Brothers 2020 to just dominate the tag team scene over on SmackDown.
Yeah, that's exactly what I have planned, Jeremy. Can I just say, I really like the way that you framed the you're now drinking from the bottle like I was on like the hard liquor. I really appreciate it. It was like I hit the wall with my Rick Rude selection. I was like, oh no, now it's really now it's really falling apart. But
It's gotten
yes,
out of hand here.
yes. Again, so if you look at my three guys, I think it's pretty obvious for anyone that's following along here. If you look at my draft, there's a guy who went really high that I want to make a top babyface. You have to sacrifice some things, right? Like 98 Austin, you can't have anyone else as the top babyface. It's Austin, right?
Right.
Same thing. So, as much as I love Ric Flair, I want to use other guys on top as a heel. Rudy's good as like he can be 1A, 1B. He's just tremendous.
Are we have to do like era picks? Like what year are you taking Yoko from? I guess it depends on the database, but there's enough like 93,
Yeah.
98, 96 databases out there that you can pull from, right?
Yeah, no, it's easy enough. If you just
Okay.
give me the year. I mean, these guys, ironically, Yoko, Sting, and Rude are all probably from like the 92 to 94 region of time,
Okay.
right? Like, because that's the Sting I want. So, yeah, that's easy enough.
Yeah, I want Brett like 94, 95 Brett.
Yeah,
And then Britt's
makes sense.
obviously today's, so
Yeah, 96 Britt Baker.
was she born in 96?
I don't know.
She's
Probably not.
29. I'm bad at math. So I yeah, she
Yes,
was
she
born
was.
by 96. Okay.
Yeah.
Her birthday was on Thursday this past week. We mentioned that on Thursday's episode of The Distraction. Gave her a birthday shout out. She
Yeah.
shares a birthday with the other GOAT, John Cena.
Yes, and he may be coming up soon, I sense, but I'll leave it there for now.
No. I won't tip my hand. I mean, I guess this is tip my hand. I'm not taking John Cena. Look, I
Okay.
think you can drop in John Cena in kind of any era and he would be fine. But if I have John Cena, it doesn't really fit my roster. If I drafted a
No.
different roster, then yeah, I'd probably have John Cena. But you got to go based on fit with these picks, Joe. Like you said, you can't just take Flair, Austin, Cena, these guys. Like then you're almost pigeonholing yourself into those have got to be your top guys.
Yeah, and I think also we have to stress, like, while this is a competition each week where we both do shows, like, we actually want to have to like enjoy doing this stuff. Does that make sense? Like us running the same thing. I enjoy those three guys. You're going to pick people you enjoy. I know you love Brett. You love Cena, but if he spoils the fun you were going to have with all your shoot style pro wrestling, it wouldn't be no fun, right? It's all a matter of what we're actually going to have to book these at some point.
Exactly. All right. Let me get into my third pick here. And I really don't even know who it's going to be. I feel like I need a good tag team, and I don't want to be like too cliche and just take like Arn and Tully, but I might just be cliche and take Arn and Tully. So that's who I'm gonna take. I'm gonna take the Brainbusters, Arn and Tully.
The thing you have to realise is, while we may see that as cliche, there's a lot of people that don't have them on their board and would be like, the Dudley Boys or whatever. So it is cliche for us, but maybe not for everyone else.
Yeah, that's fair. It's not. Why would I take the Dudley Boys?
I don't know. That's my take too, but a lot of people love those guys, right? The tag team one is very interesting because that's the one where I have the most modern guys that don't work for WWE. So here's the question. I have a question here, and you pick your team, so it's not, I'm not spoiling anything. Scott Steiner is active in pro wrestling, right?
Theoretically, yes.
I'm not even going to take it. I'm going to take a modern team, Jim. I'm going to take a modern team.
Okay.
I'm going to take my candidates are as follows here. I have the Bucks on the board. I have Santana and Ortiz, who I love. And I have the Guerrillas of Destiny, who I'm not even huge on. I just love the Usos GOD feud in theory. So I'm looking at all these things. I'm looking at all, they're all on the table, all these cards. I'm gonna take Santana and Ortiz. I absolutely love those guys.
I like that. I legitimately thought about Santana and Ortiz with my tag team pick.
They're tremendous.
They were on my short list. I went with Arn and Tully just because I wanted to kind of. I felt like I already had somebody from today with Britt, so I didn't want to just keep it as stealing from AEW. But I like the Santana and Ortiz pick.
Santana and Ortiz versus the Usos is like a tremendous program, I think. So hopefully they're actually good on the game because I think Santana is a great promo. So he's going to turn up with like a 50 microphone skill. So yeah, we'll see how it goes, but I'm happy with my pick for now. Definitely.
It's a good pick. I like it as well. Yeah, the game, I don't know how they're going to rate Santana and Ortiz, and that could certainly be an issue.
It could.
All right, Joseph, with my next pick, I think I'm going to take, just looking at my roster here, just seeing who I can drop in and do, like who can have like just good matches with these people, who fits with these people. I got it, Joseph. I got the person that I want. Too Cold Scorpio.
Wow, that has caught me so far off guard. I can't even describe it with words. I mean, I love Too Cold Scorpio, but this feels like a dangerous scenario as I look at it.
Yeah, look, Too Cold Scorpio is, I'm sure, I don't know how the game is going to rate him, but he's a guy who can go out there and just have great matches with a lot of people. And I feel like my top is pretty good with the guys I got, especially with the addition of Brett. Brock can toss Too Cold. You know, that's my whole gimmick, is just people Brock Lesnar can toss. He fits in perfectly with that. And Too Cold, he's pretty diverse. He can just go out there, wrestle, do that stuff. The Flash Funk gimmick proved he has some charisma, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing to take from it. I do have to ask this question because I look at him on the board and I look at me taking Rick Rude. Substance issues and such all will remain as they were that year, right?
Yes.
Correct? That's what we're doing here?
Yeah.
Okay, it's going to be an interesting game, Jeremy. It's going to be... I'm interested to see how long Too Cold Scorpio, like how many times he fails the drug test before it's like, okay, maybe we need to change some things. But yeah, I'm all in. I like it. It's random enough that it makes me happy anyway. So yeah, I'm with it. Okay, so I have my female pick remaining, correct?
Yes.
Here's the thing. I have so much great in-ring talent. on this female side. I'm taking someone that can wrestle, takes tremendous bumps, but may end up just being a character depending on how things go. I'm taking AJ Lee as my
Okay.
pick.
I'm not mad at AJ Lee at that pick.
Because if nothing else, she can definitely get on TV as a mouthpiece for someone. But
Yes.
I think there may be a way we get her in the ring too. So I didn't want to take a woman that was less proficient on the microphone because I don't know where they'd fit. My division's pretty stacked. Can we agree on that much, Jeremy? Pretty good division I've got here, right?
It's all right.
We'll be talking trades. We'll be talking about them.
Yeah, it's all right. Now that I'm looking at it deeper, you do have a fair amount of talent. I don't.
Yes.
What you're gonna do with all this talent. Here's the thing with the game, which is a detriment for both of us. But looking at your female roster, more of a detriment for you. They do not rate women's stuff very good. Like it's just not rated good at all.
I legit think we need to investigate some of it because, I'm like honestly, and I can say this because currently she's on your roster. I legit feel like you're going to send a lecture out of a mic and it's going to be like 50.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes, I guess, right? We'll just see what we get once I delve into this and what we're actually putting together.
I think the women's side definitely needs kind of the most work. I'm going to leave. I mean, you have taken on the task of editing the database. I trust your judgment. I feel like we have very similar views on what's good and bad in wrestling. So I trust that you will edit properly if you're going to make any edits at all on certain things. So yeah, that is a detriment on this game though, is they just don't rate women's stuff that well. And it's a shame because from what I was reading on the Cornell universe, like even that universe still thinks women's wrestling is like in the 90s and early 2000s. So I guess the mod makers could still change it and make this stuff better. I just don't know how that translates to the game.
Yeah, and this is where we're probably going to hit a point where it's like, if you're watching along, the game is really our vehicle to go through this stuff, right? It's really our ideas bouncing back and forth, obviously, because otherwise we probably would have took Seth third and whatever. So we'll see how it goes. But I won't lower anyone, I'll put it that way. So if there's a guy like Bray, for example, Bray, I'm not a huge Bray fan, but if he's super good, like I'm not going to take him down, but I might bump some people up that are underrated, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I don't think we should lower anyone because that part is subjective enough, and I don't want to be unfair to the mod maker. But bumping people is like, this is our universe. So, I mean, when it comes to Bray, I'm booking him how if you missed it, Bray is the goon in my universe. So it's not like I'm pushing Bray as like the face of the franchise or anything. Like he's legitimately going to be like an opening kind of act goon talent for me, just doing vignettes and stuff. So yeah, I don't think we should lower anybody. I do think that if we feel that some ratings are too low, we can certainly bump those up.
Yeah, that makes sense. I agree.
All right, definitely. Number 5, my final pick from the picks beyond. Once again, looking over this roster here, trying to figure out kind of who fits in and also be fair to what we've both done. So I'm looking at your picks beyond, and you went pretty star power with your three male picks. I mean, Yoko, former champion, Sting, one of the most decorated guys in wrestling, Rick Rude, everyone loves, even if he didn't have too many big accolades. But in the 90s, he was certainly there. I'm going to take a guy who fits on the roster and another guy we both just really enjoy and can do a little bit of everything. I'm going to take Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig.
Yeah, that's a great pick. I mean, I think he's very much in the vein of Rude. Rude got, like, I guess, with WCW, I think Rude obviously climbed the card a little bit more. But Hennig is, like, in-ring will probably translate better if this was a real time machine. But it's not, so I don't know if any of that will matter. But, yeah, by the way, I want to make this clear, Jeremy. So earlier on, you said about John Morrison, you did the JBL line, correct?
Yes.
And I said, don't spoil one of my picks. Now, did you believe I was referencing JBL or Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig when I said that?
I thought you were talking about hitting.
I can confirm I was talking about John Bradshaw Layfield, but such
Okay.
no, means nothing now. I just want to make it clear that anyone who's disappointed I didn't stick with John, he was on my board. I want to make it clear now.
I thought you were referencing Kurt, and I had an idea, especially as my roster started to take shape. I had an idea to take him. I was gonna leave him. I think you're a bigger Mr. Perfect fan than I am. So I was gonna let you take him. I would come up with something else, but once you went through your picks and didn't take him, I figured, all right, he fits in well with my roster. Could do like I my other kind of idea was Kurt Angle, but I didn't want to
Yeah.
go again just like top heavy with a guy like Angle. I wanted, and this is no offense to Too Cold Scorpio or Kurt Hennig, like they were kind of career mid card, upper mid card guys. They never reached that top level, and I didn't want to go too top heavy, especially after I took Brett. I was like, all right, that's the kind of big star that I'm taking.
Yeah, I think Kurt I think Kurt's amazing, but it's impossible to have Kurt and not book him as like the absolute top guy to me because he's so great compared to it. Like, I mean, I love the current roster, but Kurt is special. Sting, I intend to kind of have as like he's like the safe baby face that's at this point already been champ, if that makes sense. The other two guys are heels that when I start using it will probably become clearer. But I'm with you. I don't think either of us wanted a guy that's like immovable as top baby face or heel, basically, is the thing, right?
Right. All right, Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
We have our rosters
Yes.
now. We each have 46 members of the roster. There's four slots available if you want to take anybody off of the big board to just fill out your roster for any reason. I will give you, if you want anybody off of the big board, is there, let me put the big board up on the screen. It's gonna screw up everything, but so I'm actually not gonna do that. Is there anybody on the big board that you would like to add to your roster?
I'm not gonna pretend there is. 'Cause I don't think there really is. I think I'm pretty content. I think the only way I'll be adding people is if I'm losing people to acquire a certain asset that sits very high on your roster page, Jeremy. For right now, I am fine.
All right. I'm going to. I'm not going to add anybody just yet, actually. I do have some people. The good thing is with these roster spots, because I think once we get started, we're going to, especially on like the tag team division, we're going to realize there's not a whole lot of tag teams that we'll be pairing together. And there are like there's AOP. I thought about adding just like Angelo Dawkins if I wanted to do with Montez Ford, but I'm going to try out Montez Ford as a singles guy or try him. Actually, I have a different tag team for him in mind. You know, there's the Viking Raiders. Did you see that skit on Raw?
I have no idea what you're talking about. What skit?
Did you really not see the Viking Raiders skit on Raw?
Oh, sorry. I thought you used to talk about Montez Ford. I was like, I had no clue. Yes, I did see it, Jeremy. It was very sad.
Just who thought this was a
Yeah.
good idea, Joseph? Who thought this was a good idea?
They're such a great team. Like neither of us picking them says a lot about like how much they've damaged our perception of them. Because I love them as a team. I don't know why I didn't pick them. Now I look at it, but I don't know what I'd do with them. Like I just don't get. I don't get how they've ended up here. But yeah, it's sad.
Yeah, it's not good. All right, I'm not gonna add anybody just yet either because there seems to be some trades coming on. So let's negotiate
Yes.
some trades here, Joe. And I know who you're looking at. You're looking at my sixth pick, Alexa Bliss. I will say Edge is also available for the right price.
I don't have the right price for Edge.
Okay.
I like Edge. I am not desperate to be booking with him. And
Okay.
I don't even know how much. I don't know what his contract and all that business is. So I'm going to leave Edge. The Alexa deal is very, very interesting, Jeremy, because I'm happy with my women's division. This begs the question, are you looking for a quality asset in return, or are you looking for one of those classic, an absolute just onslaught of fine assets? That's my question.
Can I trade for a pick beyond? I don't know if that's a
Or
thing.
like an extra pick or one of
Yeah,
my picks? I'm unsure.
yeah, an
Which
extra
one?
pick.
Like another pick of your? Oh, okay. I don't know. Sure. I don't know. Well, it works for me. I'm not. I have no issue with that, right?
I mean, I actually don't want to ruin like the spirit of the game by doing that and adding more old people into the game. I was just trying to throw something out there and get your reaction to it. Um, I see. The thing is, I'm very happy with my roster, and
Yeah.
I look at yours, and like, there's some people that I would like, but there's no one that I'm like, yeah, I'll give you Alexa Bliss for this person, because then it's just gonna add more people to my roster that I gotta figure out what to do with, and I already feel like I'm gonna have that problem.
Honestly, as much as this pains me to say it, I think Alexa is a better fit on your roster than she is mine, and that is a well, that is a fatal blow, isn't it? That really is a stinger for me to absorb at this point in the game. But I'm looking at it, and I mean, her and Charlotte is like an absolute anomaly because they haven't done that match a lot. Like, I can't argue with that as your top female match. On my side, I have enough fresh matches without like me trying to force Alexa in there, which is what it would be, right? That's what I would inevitably do. So I don't know if there's a trade here, Jeremy. Maybe this is one that we come back to later on because right now I'm looking at what I've got, and I don't want to make a silly offer. You know, I mean, I am. Here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll put together an offer and just as a feeler. Okay,
All
Jeremy.
right.
I- I'll say Keith Lee and the legit boss are on the table for such a deal to be made.
Okay. I I don't completely hate that. I
Okay.
I'll tell you what I was kind of eyeing. I was
Okay.
eyeing Kyrie and Big E.
And you're certain you want Big E?
Yeah, see, that's a name that, like, I've got Kofi and Xavier. I don't even want to do the New Day stuff because I mean it doesn't feel cheap, but it just feels like safe to kind of do that.
Yeah.
But if I get into a pinch with tag teams, I can at least go that route with those three, and I can still have one as a single star anytime that I want them. And
Hmm.
that's why I'm kind of eyeing Big E.
Okay. Here's the thing. I'm pretty big on Big E. You know this, Jeremy, right? You know I've got plans here for Big E.
Yes.
Very callous move on your part, but I understand it's all business at this point, right? The front
I mean, you
offices are
took
out
him
of this.
fifth. I would imagine you have big plans if you're taking this guy
I do.
fifth.
I will go back to my prior deal, my prior offer, but I'll adjust it for you now. Okay.
All
What
right.
about Kyrie Sane, Keith Lee, and Angel Garza for the team of Bliss Cross Applesauce?
Now, I'm not giving up both Bliss and Cross.
What for no price? They're not. There's not a thing that's happening, no.
I mean, that's definitely like I've got to get Big E in that deal.
Wow.
Like
You're
I
holding Nikki Cross in high regard now.
look, you had a chance to take her. All right,
I did. I did.
you had your chance. So yeah, I'm not. Nikki Cross can do plenty of things on my roster, and I've got to keep her there unless I'm getting something in return that I feel. But I like Keith Lee. I don't know how much I'm gonna do with Keith Lee. And kind of the same thing with Garza. Like I've got enough kind of guys like Garza. If I really want to, I'll just
Hmm.
call up Umberto Carrillo or Austin Theory, and I'll do the same thing with them that I'd probably do with Garza.
Yeah, this is interesting. Is there a top guy that's not called Edge that you are like, not a top guy even, just a guy that's not like a total mid carder that you're interested in, kind of just seeing what's out there for? Is there anyone
Um,
like that, or is it just Edge?
I mean, Brian Styles are untouchable. Owen, I mean, I know you were high on
Hmm.
Owens. I see. I'm looking at your roster, and I just don't know like who's gonna fit with my like. I have no. Becky would be fine, but I would imagine you're not trading your top pick. Roman, I don't really. He doesn't really seem to fit on my roster. Same with McIntyre. Ripley, I can kind of take or leave. Biggie, again, I laid out the reasons I would want him. Bianca, kind of similar to Ripley. Like if it's there, fine. Like your top guys, I don't see really fitting for mine. And like Brian Styles are untouchable. Brock is pretty untouchable as well. Owens can possibly be there. Edge is the one where I can kind of take or leave. That's why I threw his name out there.
Okay, here's the deal. Okay, you say Owens could be out there.
Yeah.
What am I looking at for an Owens Alexa Bliss super package?
Oh my gosh. That's my.
And now I'm gonna say this now. If Owens is on the table, Big E is on the table.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say Big E would have to come back. Because I'm giving up pick 3 and 6 here. So you're giving up pick 5. I would.
Could I just say, I love that you said he'd have to come back like they're like two opposite franchises across the country. You know, like you're gonna have to send E over. You're gonna have to do it. You're gonna have to do the paperwork for it. Yeah,
This is what I love about like negotiating trades live, because I imagine this is how it works, like in general managers' offices and stuff. You know, when you're playing 2K or whatever, you just do the trade finder. It tells you no, whatever, and you're essentially just negotiating with your computer or with yourself. Like doing this kind of stuff, I like to think that these are the conversations that happen in real life trying to make trades and stuff. Like if OKC, or when the Clippers are like, okay, we want Paul George, I imagine Sam Presti's like, all right, well, Shea Gilgeous has to come back as part of this deal. Like he's got to be part of this package.
I think there's a deal here, because I think with Owens and Alexa, Big E is someone that I'm happy to leave, because I love Big E. But you know how I am on Owens, because I nearly picked him third. I intended to pick him third, right? And I'm aware that you're going to need more assets than I'm taking off you, because I'm taking 2 like premier assets. So then it becomes a matter of, what do you want from me for Owens and Alexa? Big E's in the deal. Okay, so what else do you want with that?
Okay. I got to get a female back to offset the loss of Alexa. I would take Sasha. I know you're not high on Sasha. See, I don't think you value Sasha that much, and that's why.
True.
Yeah. Like I can use Sasha. I think she's good. The game probably rates her well. I can use Sasha, but I know because you don't have a high value on her that I still need even a little. Because again, I'm giving up 3 and 6, and that's also my top female pick. You're giving up right now 5 and 13.
Yeah. You definitely need to get more assets in this deal than I do. I'm aware of that, because I'm taking top heavy stuff here. But Banks and Big E, I'm shaking hands. So now it's a matter of what else you want that could break this deal.
I'm looking at Strong or O'Reilly.
That feels personal.
Because I was high on both of them, and you took them back to back there, and I could certainly use at least one of them.
I would rather not do that. I will say I would rather offer Buddy Murphy, Angel Garza. Now, if you're not interested, then we can discuss other things, but that's just the first thing I would say.
Okay, so Big E, Sasha, Buddy, and or Garza
or Buddy Murphy.
Yes. I don't want Garza. You can take off. I really don't have a use for him. No offense.
Do you want Garza, Jeremy?
No, I don't. Sorry. Buddy. All right, I'm intrigued by Buddy. I am intrigued because I think I can do something with him. He fits my roster. First off, He does fit my roster, and I think I can do something with him that I don't know if people are gonna like, but I'm gonna do it.
Oh, okay. Sounds very, very exciting, Jeremy. I feel like we're going somewhere here.
I'm
I'm
looking.
content with this. I'm content with this idea, I must say.
All right. I know you don't value this person either. So I'm
Uh-oh.
gonna swing to try to get this person.
Okay.
I will throw in I might throw in somebody.
Oh, okay.
Future considerations. I'll throw in future considerations. Big E,
Yep.
Sasha,
Yep.
Buddy, and Bailey.
Okay, can I get one? I have, by the way, I think you know this. I have zero issue giving up Bailey.
Yeah, I
Can I
know.
get one consolation prize on the female side? Is there anyone who's on the fringes of your roster that can, just for sake of numbers, you know?
Yeah, this is what I was thinking as well. Is I would throw in somebody like the lowest female that I took was Sonya Deville. I mean you can have her. I don't really want to give up Tony Storm because I kind of actually want to use her. Like
What
Sonya,
about
I
Naomi,
can.
Jeremy?
What's that?
What about Naomi?
Yes, I will concede Naomi because one, it's not that I don't like Naomi. I took her 22nd. Obviously, I like her. I don't want to do this to the Usos. I feel you let them down,
Exactly.
and because I don't want to be that heartless, I will give you Naomi.
I think we have a deal, Jeremy. I think we have a deal.
So the deal is Owens, Alexa, and Naomi for
Yep.
Big E, Buddy, Sasha, and Bailey.
Done. I'm in.
All right, that's a good trade.
Oh,
I Let me note
oh, that was
this.
tremendous. That's the most exciting. I don't know if anyone listening or watching this around the world found that enjoyable. But that's the most fun me and Jeremy have ever had doing this show.
we we love stuff like this. Like we love
Yeah.
this real sports trading type of deal. Like this whole draft was right up our alley. But yeah, to do these trades and stuff, this is perfect for us. All right, so to Raw, we have Big E, Sasha Banks,
Wow.
Bailey,
Wow.
Buddy Murphy, and to SmackDown. Oops. To
This
SmackDown, we
is
have
an
Alexa
event.
Bliss,
Yep.
Kevin Owens, and Naomi. All right, so that is the trade. I'll update the actual rosters after the show to
Yeah.
reflect it. I'm just logging transactions at this point.
Woj bomb.
That was a huge deal.
I actually think it's a good deal for both sides.
I do
I
too.
really do. I think
I
you love E. I think Big E could actually end up being like your top baby face if you play your cards right. Because I think you think very highly of him like I do.
I
And I
do
get
love
some
Big. Like
established spots.
I was gonna take Big E, probably top 10, and then you completely shocked me by taking him 5. Like
Yeah.
I had him. I basically had him in like the Cesaro slot. Like I'll take him around 9, 8, 9, 10, and like you took him top 5, and now I was just like, oh my god. Well, that's it. Like that's why I had to go after Big E. Like that's why I wasn't gonna accept Keith Lee. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, here's the deal. I think you had Alexa as a great building block for your division. You've got two building blocks that are very useful, as much as like we might, poke fun at times. They
Yeah.
are both very good at pro wrestling. One of them's especially good. You get Buddy Murphy, who's a great in-ring guy. I think this is a good deal for all. I hope neither of us get dunked on when Woj tweets the news. Um, I don't want to see any gifts of one of us just getting just destroyed. I want to see everyone saying good deal for all. And no future considerations. I want to make it clear now, Jeremy. There are no future considerations involved in this deal.
No picks, no future considerations, no cash considerations, anything like that. It's like this is the trade. That's what we're going with. Anybody else on the potentially lower tier that you're looking at?
Hmm.
I'll give you a name that is I had it and now I've completely lost it. Um, it's been a long, long recording session, Joseph.
It has. It really
Uh,
has.
oh, I'll tell you who. I don't know what
Okay.
I give up, but if you do want to reunite Nikki and Alexa,
I do. Yep.
what's out there that you would potentially part with?
Hmm. So I haven't lost any females as far as numbers because I got two, gave two up.
Right.
Again, this is one of those cases of with Nikki, are you looking for a number of assets or are you looking for one of a similar value?
Probably a similar value because right now, like I gained an extra asset in that trade. I don't want to. I want to save room on my 50-person roster because I actually do want to make at least one call up for an
Yeah.
idea that I have. So I don't unless I get back somebody in this deal who I feel I can partner with this person.
I've got it. I've got it, Jeremy. I've got the deal.
Okay.
Simple deal. Very simple deal. Someone you like, someone I like, go both ways. Kyrie Sane, Nikki Cross. Who says no?
Okay. Yeah, yeah, that's fine.
That's fine, yeah? We're
Yeah.
in?
Yeah.
Deal?
That
This
was
is very good news.
very simple negotiation there.
I was looking at like Peyton and Carmella as a package, and I just see Kyrie Sane. I was like, oh no, he likes Kyrie Sane. This is
Yeah.
easy.
It's very,
Wow,
very
we're
simple.
tremendous at
Oops.
this. Jeremy.
I did that wrong. To Raw is actually Kyrie. No, yeah, to Raw is Kyrie Sane, and to SmackDown is Nikki Cross.
I love this. Like to the audience watching along, it's like, oh, I'm really interested to see what Joe does with. Oh no, never mind. This Big E push is going to be fun. Oh no, never mind. You know what won me over on the Big E deal, Jeremy? When you put Kevin Owens on the table, I started imagining a Kevin Owens Rick Rude program, and I was
Ah,
like, that sounds like the most incredible thing ever imaginable. So that was a big deal for me. So I've come out with one less asset. I think you've come out with more depth, but I've got some established players here, right? It must be said.
anybody else that I think both
Hmm.
trades work for both sides because I like Kevin Owens. I mean, if you listen to part one of this podcast or this draft, the pick was made out of just throwing Joe off and just getting into his head because he literally gave me his game plan of who he was about to take, and that's why I took him. And it's a similar, like same with Alexa Bliss. I could easily build around Alexa Bliss. I also know Joe is a big Alexa Bliss fan, so I could just use her as a trade. Joe had talent that I liked. Big E is somebody I was very high on. He mixes well with my roster. Yeah, getting Sasha and Bailey, you're not high on them. They're going to be useful pieces. Buddy was a big sweetener because I already have an idea for Buddy. Already have a good
Good.
idea for Buddy.
We're rooting for Buddy. I want to make this clear. Like, when we put this statement out on the website, the SmackDown website, Jeremy, it's going to be like, we send our best wishes to Big E and Buddy Murphy. And that's just, like, that's just all we're going to say. We're rooting for those guys. We think very highly of them, but sometimes a trade package comes up and you just have to do what you got to do, right? It's all about balance, all about fit. We know that, Jeremy. Look at us. We're great at this. There's nothing else on my board here because you're not interested in the Angel Garza, no matter how much I float it to try and get stuff that's better than Angel Garza. Even though we both like him, I don't know how he's ended up in this position, but this is how it goes. I think we're done, Jeremy. Unless you've got someone else that you want to kind of look around at, I think we've reached our kind of peak here as far as trades go for now.
I'm looking. I'm gonna make a call up. I will say that I'm gonna go ahead and
Okay.
maybe tip what I have planned for a certain talent here. I'll tell you one name I am interested in, and I mean I don't think I'd have to give up a lot to get him, but I don't know who you would be interested in, and I have a very specific role for him. Is there anything for
Okay.
MVP?
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't expect that question. I like MVP a lot. I'm sure we can work something out. Well, who's on the outs here? I mean, I don't want to sort of jump the gun here. It's very hard to gauge from just position because a lot of your stuff is tactical, right? You left guys late because you knew I wasn't going to take them.
Yeah, see that's the thing. Like, I actually like where my roster is at. I just have a very specific role for MVP that I think he would be great at. And if I don't get him, fine, whatever. but I do have a specific role for him that he fits in well with what I would like to do. But at the same time, I don't know who I would like want to give up to get him.
Okay, I'm gonna just go into like booking stuff because I think it's an interesting conversation. So I wanted MVP because he's a good TV character,
Right.
and that means you can do a lot of different things. And I'm sure that's what you've got planned, right? I'm sure you're not going to plan to have him as the pure champ. Okay, so
Right.
I think I get where you're going. Here's the thing: I wanted him as Bobby Lashley's mouthpiece,
Okay.
but I have since cooked up an idea in which the Miz is going to do that for me.
Okay.
I want the Miz to do a thing where he kind of, tries to make Bobby Lashley a star kind of deal. So MVP is very much on the trade block for me. It then becomes a matter of what is on your roster that is also in a similar position because it's very hard. I don't know. I don't want to kind of jump the gun. It's hard for me to gauge what I could do with some of these fellows on the roster, you know?
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't know who I would, because I'm using him as in a similar role. I was gonna use him in just kind of a managerial type of role who maybe wrestled every now and again. And looking at it, like I could actually use a lot of the. I have better roles for everybody else that's here. Like Sonya's the one name that it's like, all right, I can. If you want her to add to your women's division, there's still women I could easily call up and replace. Like I can actually find a use for Pete Dunne. The bottom five guys, where it gets interesting is like the bottom five guys. I know you have no interest in, and I really don't have an interest in like trading them for just like a manager guy because I'm actually going to use them to just essentially put other people over.
What is your stance on Taker? Now, I know you just said the bottom five, and look, I understand MVP for Undertaker is not a fair trade. I'm not an idiot. I'm aware of that, Joe. I'm not trying to con you. I'm just actually asking because, like, is he a guy that you have no actual, because the other guys are going to lose normal matches, right? Like,
Yeah.
Jeff, they're going to be on TV. Is Taker a guy you have matches like down the line that could be a good Mania match, or is he just a total mystery right now?
No. I've got matches in mind for essentially the big four shows. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to use him outside of those big four shows.
Yeah.
But for those big four shows, like I do have, because we're going to start in, I guess WrestleMania would be April. So do you want to start in like May? Like the
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to start in May. So yeah, I have ideas for him for SummerSlam already.
Okay, that works, and that's fine. It's tough. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm not willing to trade MVP. I just don't know what. It's very difficult because you're that one role. There's no one else on your side that does the same thing, right? So it's like you don't want to give up Sheamus, who's going to have good matches, for a guy who's going to be a mouthpiece.
Right.
So I'm not sure. One to keep note of, though, right? I guess.
Yeah, I mean that's fine if the MVP thing doesn't work. I should have asked for him in the Big E trade.
Yeah. Yeah, you should have. I could have kept Buddy Murphy.
No, I wanted Buddy Murphy over MVP. I wouldn't have.
Okay.
I don't think when you said Buddy Murphy, that was honestly like the sweetener to where I was like, all right, I think we can really work something out here.
Buddy Murphy's awesome. Because you mentioned Roddy and O'Reilly, it's like I have them in my tag lane, but like Roddy and O'Reilly are awesome too, right? So it was a good fit all around. There's so many good match guys on this roster. It's kind of difficult to separate them sometimes.
So here's what I'm
MVP.
Here's what I'm already gonna spoil because
oh no.
I'm gonna go ahead and just call this person up. I'm calling up Bobby Fish to team with Buddy Murphy.
That's awesome. I love that team. Good call, Jeremy.
And that's why I wanted O'Reilly or Strong, because I don't know how my tag team division is going to shake out. So if I can just get a framework of tag teams, then I'll feel better about things.
So have you not got like a because this is the issue is you actually have to like do stuff while you're picking, whereas I'm just like writing stuff. So your tag team division is a little bit of a mystery to you right now, correct?
I have ideas. Yeah, I have.
Okay.
I have ideas. Obviously, the Buddy Murphy thing is one idea. I did take Too Cold Scorpio as a potential tag team deal.
Mm-hmm.
who can also be used as a single. That was a reason I wanted Big E, just because I could use those three in tag team situations, if possible or if necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got ideas for guys. It's just a matter of once I actually sit down and look at this roster, figuring out what I'm gonna do with everybody.
I mean, you have Arn Tully versus New Day,
Yeah.
and that is all one needs, really. That should be enough, right?
Like, I feel like I have guys who can just slot in as tag teams fairly easy, and if I do get
Yeah.
into a pinch, then that's when fill out the rosters with AOP and Viking Raiders and Otis and Tucker or something. Like if you just need a tag team, you could just use those guys.
This is hilarious, man. I'm looking at my depth chart for the women, and it's just a whole different division now. I have not. I have to reshape everything now because it's very, very different times. Hmm. MVP. I did not expect that one from you, Jeremy. I must say. MVP.
I feel like if I would have just taken, like, let me pull up the big board here, not on our screen that the people can see, but on
Hmm.
my actual screen. I feel like if I would have just taken, like, I don't know, Umberto Carrillo, you would have just traded MVP for Umberto Carrillo.
Probably true. Almost definitely true, actually. Yes.
I should
I'd
just
forgotten
call up.
Humberto Creo was on the board.
Actually, you know what? There are people in the Oh, I got it. All right.
Uh-oh.
How many people do I have on my roster?
Probably a lot, right?
Yeah, so I've got 46 with the picks beyond, but then I added one in the trade, so that's 47,
Yep.
48 with Bobby Fish. All right, so I've got 2 spots. All right, I'm going to call up somebody that I think we both really like, and he can fill the MVP role for me.
Oh,
Do you know where I'm going?
absolutely no idea.
Malcolm Bivens.
Oh, right. Yeah, of course. Sorry. I,
Yeah.
I was confused. I didn't know what you were talking about. But yes, that is a very good call. You're right. But I think that renders any MVP trade absolutely nonsense now, right? There's
Yeah.
no trade left. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't need MVP at this point. Bivens can just
We'll see
do
about that. We'll see
exactly.
Malcolm's overness before you say that.
What's that?
That's it. We'll see Malcolm's overness before you conclude that.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's true. It's probably not good, but hopefully his microphone skills is high. That might be one that needs to be adjusted. But yeah, I'm sure
Yeah.
his overness isn't good at all.
I think we're in good spots here. I think it's pretty even. I think it says a lot about us that while Brett and Sting are huge stars and Yoko champ, obviously Rude, big star, Hennig, it is very much us that we didn't take like a Mount Rushmore guy. I mean, Brett maybe for some people, but in sort of star power, right? Like, it's very us that we didn't go Rock, Austin, Flair, Hogan.
Yeah,
It's just the
that
way it is on here.
to me that just takes a lot of the fun out of what we actually want to do. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, we could easily drop in Rock, Flair, Hogan, those guys, but then, like you said, you've got to book those guys as top stars. You're not having
Yeah.
The Rock lose to Drew McIntyre. No offense to Drew McIntyre, but I mean maybe you are.
Yeah.
But you're not like, so. Your 8th pick was Keith Lee. The Rock probably ain't losing to Keith Lee. Same
Do you know
with,
what's fun about this, Jeremy, is that like the audience will be able to remember that at one point I said, I'm not taking a top baby face because I want to build around Big E. And then he was traded from my roster approximately 10 minutes later because this is what he's like as a GM, right? It's a ruthless business we're in here, Jeremy.
It
You can
is.
try and get yourself Owens and Alexa, Big E's gone. That's it, it's over.
It really is. Like, no one's untouchable in this stuff if the right
No.
deal comes along. I think I could probably end up getting someone from your roster that you think is untouchable, and you could probably do the same thing for me. It's just a matter of the right deal that makes sense. And I think both of these deals made sense.
There's so much talent on this roster that Buddy Murphy as a sweetener sums it all up, right? Like,
Yeah.
how great is Buddy Murphy? I mean, again, it's one of those deals, we don't know what he'll be like in the game, of course, but like, in ring, just an electric guy, and I was using him as a sweetener in this multi-person package. But it was great fun. What a thrill that was, that trade deal we put together there, Jeremy. I'm proud of us. Very proud.
I'm glad we got something done. Because it's the worst when you just try to negotiate something for 20, 15, or 20, 25, 30 minutes and like just nothing comes of it. Yeah, I imagine that's how deals get done in real life, where you negotiate it for like hours, nothing happens, and then you sleep on it and you call back and you try it again and whatnot. I can't imagine the actual life of being a real GM.
Yeah, because like we're having fun with this here. But even if this was a real thing, Jeremy, and somehow me and you run Raw and SmackDown, it would still be far less stressful than doing it for an actual sports franchise, wouldn't
Yeah.
it? Like it's a nothing thing. It's Raw and SmackDown. Who cares? It's the same company. But when you actually have to take into account salary cap and the commitment and this and contracts, that's very scary stuff. This is a lot more fun just switching people from back and forth on a podcast.
Right. All right, Joe. Anything else
Yes.
we need to wrap up here?
Just one statement. Don't send me any booking suggestions when you see these shows. That's not how I work, Jeremy. You know that, right? I have the pencil, or the pen in this case, and that's the way it will stay, okay? Respect that. Enjoy it as a fan, but you have not got the pencil in this case. I do. Just want to make it clear.
Chances are by the time people see this and start sending us suggestions, we'll already have like hopefully weeks booked out anyway. So
Yes.
we're putting a lot of stuff in the can for this, and we hope people enjoy it. We've gotten a few people who have said they're excited about it. We have fun doing it, and that's why we wanted to bring it back. And we just wanted to go in a different direction than we did with the Monday Night Wars as well. And this was a lot of fun, and hopefully it turns out well for everybody and they enjoy it, because we're gonna have fun with it. And as I've said many times, we basically just do this show to pop ourselves. So
Yeah, it's working out so far, right?
yeah.
I assume we haven't got any trouble yet, so just keep going this way, and we should be fine, Jeremy.
Yeah. All right, everyone. That will wrap up the kind of pre-booking, the draft, the trades, all that fun stuff. The next time we are doing this series will be the actual start of the series, as we get everything in order to begin booking, and we actually put things on the screen so people can see where we're going and how we shake up the WWE universe with our drafts and our picks from the past and all of that. So we will talk to everyone then. Again, reminder, everyone can follow us on Twitter. You can follow Joe on Twitter at JoeHulbert5. You can follow me on Twitter at Jeremy Lambert88. We'll be doing these shows every weekend, the TEW series. We do a normal wrestling podcast every Thursday, and we do a movie review television show featuring, starring, related to wrestling every Tuesday. All of it's on Fightful.com. Sign up to FightfulSelect.com. Exclusive news, extra audio, all that good stuff. Joe can afford a haircut. I can afford a haircut if you sign up to FightfulSelect.com. And we will talk to everybody on Tuesday.